Crusader Kings 3 finally got a new start date, 1178 AD, centered around the 4th Crusade, where many of the Crusaders just decided and destroyed the Byzantine Empire instead of heading to Jerusalem. Classic. But this new start date comes at the same time as the Roads to Power DLC, adding Landless gameplay and a massive overhaul to the Byzantine Empire with the addition of the Administrative Government. So today we have 10 characters, from landless adventurers all the way to terrifying conquerors. Prince Mieszko, from mighty king to landless, thanks to his son leading a rebellion against him, but in real life, Mieszko managed to get support from his son-in-law, Duke Bogislaw, and eventually reconquered and returned to his lands. And here we start landless, but with a pressed claim on Poland, which means our heir will inherit them. So if you feel like going to war for them at some point, you can. But this start is really fun, as you have a real need for revenge and a big challenge. Starting with barely any gold and no troops, taking a kingdom by war will not be easy. Of course, you could always go the intrigue route. I mean, if your rebellious son has no heirs, then you share the same heir, if you get what I mean. Prince Richard, or better known as Richard the Lionheart, later become King of England, and famed for his time in the Third Crusade, defeating Saladin's armies and the many battles against Philippe of France. And in-game, it's a lot of fun to play as Richard, as there's just so much inner family drama. Your father, the King of England, has your brother and nemesis made co-monarch, guaranteeing him the throne of England. And your mother, who is also your liege and the Duchess of Aquitaine, starts off in your father's prison, which, you know, just seems like a fantastic family dynamic. But luckily for you, you do start with a nice claim on England, which pushing will gain you the entire Angevin Empire. And with your wife being the daughter of the King of France, you really have a powerful ally to use in the beginning, until that little Philippe inherits anyway. But later on, you do have a big choice. Join the Crusade and stick to the initial plan and fight in Saladin just like in real life to recapture Jerusalem. Or, on the other hand, you can join in on the Crusader War to destroy the Byzantine Empire, maybe even becoming Richard the Lionheart of the Latin Empire. Next up, we have Sultan Saladin of the Ayyubid Sultanate, taking control from the Fatimids after becoming the previous ruler's vizier, and would go on to take Jerusalem and pretty much every other Crusader city from the Catholics, eventually leading to the Third Crusade, where, like we just mentioned, Richard the Lionheart would end up taking back Jerusalem. But here you have a chance to change that by taking Jerusalem from King Baudouin and attempt to defend yourself from the impending crusade. But another reason I really like Saladin is because you're in the perfect position to just not put up with the Catholics, as Saladin is a conqueror, another new addition to Crusader Kings 3, which gives you more gold, the forced vassalization casus belli, and at the same time, making your wars free. The only thing holding you back is your troop count, but oh no, they're basically free as well. So taking revenge against the Catholics will be a ton of fun. Surviving the Crusade and moving on to dismantle the papacy is just a great way to rub it in. King Baudouin IV, the leper of Jerusalem, and as his name suggests, he's not exactly long for this world. This may be one of Crusader Kings 3's harder starts. All those great things I just said about Saladin, well, now they're all terrifying facts, as you're his biggest opponent. He will declare war for Jerusalem without a doubt, and you're so far away from other Catholics, allies are rare. Although you do make decent money, so you can probably save up 1 to 1.5 thousand gold to use for your men-at-arms or even just mercenaries, and if you're lucky, the Holy Orders will stop being so poor, but even then, it's still a tough fight. Saladin is strong. Even if you do lose the war, it's not over. You get left with a small amount of land, surrounded by people that hate you, but you can try and rebuild from there. It won't be easy, but if you manage it, you have a really fun start to go and form the Outremer Empire. One of the most difficult, but also one of the most fun formable empires. Master Todor is probably my new favorite character. He's landless, but unlike any other landless people, he starts with loads of gold and an army of over 10,000, because in real life he and his two brothers led a rebellion against the Byzantines, defeating their armies and capturing land, forming the Second Bulgarian Empire, and his brother had to name Roman Slayer, even defeating and capturing the first leader of the Latin Empire. So yeah, their history is amazing, and they even come with a unique decision to champion the Bulgarian culture, allowing you to take a duchy off the Byzantines through war, or if you meet some requirements, even just peacefully take it and become a vassal of them. But even ignoring all of that, being a character with this much gold and troops, while being landless, you can just move. Want to move to India and become a herder of an elephant army? Do it. Want to move to the steppes and fight against Genghis Khan? Nothing stopping you, although that's probably not the best idea. But hopefully, you can see why I like this character so much. Just unlimited possibility. Sultan Kilij Arslan, the Seljuk of Rum. Starting with land the Basilius considers theirs means you will be swinging swords against them in no time. Luckily, you start fairly powerful and with a very good secret weapon. The Turkmen culture comes with horse lords for the really powerful horse archers, and also probably my favorite tradition, by the sword. This removes the limit of 1 kingdom level holy war that you can declare per life and makes them 1 level of fame or devotion cheaper. So with this, you can expand incredibly fast. And another thing I've noticed about this guy, he seems to have a really good chance at becoming a conqueror. So whether you want to take the Byzantine Empire for yourself and rule your own administrative government, or even just go for a full world conquest, Rum is a great choice. Strategos Konstantinos of Thessalonica starts as a vassal to the Byzantine Empire, which is more than enough to have fun in 1778. Okay, no, but seriously, with 3 special buildings, including a mine, and really good starting development, it's a really strong start to make some money early by building up your counties and your estate, while also getting involved in the power struggles of the administrative government, preparing for the likely collapse of the empire thanks to that Crusader War. Either by getting support from your fellow vassals to become the Basilius yourself and taking the fight to the invaders, or if that fails, using your built-up wealth to go ahead and restore the Byzantine Empire through warfare and diplomacy to kick out the newly formed Latin Empire and sit your family at the top. Master Lalibela begins landless, but what makes him stand out is the fact he begins in Jerusalem while being Coptic. In the other 2 start dates, Coptic can be really tough, but it seems by 1178 the faith has spread a lot more with some fairly powerful rulers, with one of them being you. Well, previously, when you were the king of Abyssinia, which is now ruled by your nephew, which means if you really wanted to jump back into landed gameplay, there's a couple things you could do. But I think this start is really fun if you ignore all of that. Reject inheritance and instead become a missionary, dedicating your life to travel, attempting to convert the counties you visit either by peace or by a show of force, if your army is big enough, that is. Yeah, you can attempt to bully counties to convert your faith. But honestly, it's just a lot of fun trying to claim your holy sites simply by charming its population. Master Andronikos, a cousin, but also a rival to the current Basilius, which is nice as it does give us a claim on the entire Byzantine Empire. Although even with your alliance to Georgia, acting on that claim will be pretty tough, although not impossible. So going from landless to Basilius is definitely possible here. Although another possibility is taking out Georgia's primary heir, putting your son and heir and his wife next in line to inherit, making taking Georgia pretty easy. But like all the other landless rulers, landless is just fun. You can kind of do whatever you want, but this one just stands out due to his family connections bringing extra choices. And finally today we have the Lord of Horse Lords, Genghis Khan himself, which thanks to the new start date you can now play as straight away. Early game it plays the same as any other, but at a random point around 1200 AD you become the ruler of the Mongol Empire, giving you over 30,000 special soldiers, the Conqueror trait, and a new casus belli, the Mongol invasion, which can be done as much as you want while giving you all of somebody's land. I mean, what else did you expect? This is Genghis Khan. But now this is probably the best start day to take whatever land you want. So if you are looking for some easy fun through war, this is the start for you. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.